book of John, chapter 4, verse number 23. But the hour cometh, and now is, when the true worshippers shall worship the Father in spirit and in truth. For the Father seeketh such to worship. Let's look at Jesus' statement. What brought about this summation here? From verse 19 of John chapter 4. The woman saith unto him, Sir, I perceive that thou art a prophet. Next verse. Our fathers worshipped in this mountain, and you say that in Jerusalem is the place where men ought to worship. Next verse. Jesus said unto her, Woman, believe me, the hour cometh when you shall neither in this mountain nor yet at Jerusalem worship the Father. You know that what led to this conclusion was that Jesus asked the woman to give him water to drink. That was what led to all of this discourse. I want water, madam. He met her by the well. Please, can I have some water to drink? Look at that, John chapter 4. Let's see the pretext of this subject. Verse 10. Jesus answered and said unto her, If thou knowest the gift of God, if thou knowest the gift of God. So she was ignorant of the gift of God. If thou knowest the gift of God, and who it is that saith to thee, Give me to drink, thou wouldest have asked of him, and he would have given thee living water. Look at the next verse. The woman said unto him, Sir, thou hast nothing to draw with, and the well is deep. From whence then hast thou that living water? Next verse. Art thou greater than our father Jacob, which gave us the well, and drank thereof himself, and his children, and his cattle? Jesus answered and said unto her, Whosoever drinketh of this water shall thirst again. Next verse. But whosoever drinketh of the water that I shall give him shall never thirst. But the water that I shall give him shall be in him a well of water, springing up into everlasting life. When you drink of Jesus, you never thirst anymore. The moment Jesus comes into your heart, you arrive at satisfaction. You're no more looking for anything else. Jesus is total satisfaction. Next verse. Let's follow the discourse. The woman saith unto him, Sir, give me this water that I thirst not, neither come hither to draw. 16. Jesus said unto her, Go, call your husband. I won't give you water until you bring your husband and come hither. Next verse. The woman answered and said, I have no husband. Jesus said unto her, Thou hast well said, I have no husband. You're not lying to me. I know about you more than you think I do. Next verse. For thou hast had 5 husbands, and he whom thou now hast is not thy husband. In that sayest thou truly. Next verse. The woman said unto him, Sir, I perceive that thou art a prophet. Now, if you observe from this discourse, the woman went to town. She went to town and told them, Come and see one man who told me everything I have done. That means everything the woman had done all her life was to marry. Who told me everything I have ever done. So that means all her life she lived it marrying. You think it's a joke to marry 5 husbands? Glory to God. Look at verse 19 again. The woman said unto him, Sir, I perceive that thou art a prophet. Give me 20 now. Our fathers worshipped in this mountain, And you say that in Jerusalem is a place where men ought to worship. Worshipped in this mountain. They were used to mountain worship. You know those churches where every time they go to mountain, they are descendants of this woman at the well. You understand? They are descendants. They are from the offspring of this woman. Mountain worshippers. Let's go to the mountain. Then she said to Jesus, but you say Jerusalem is the place. Our fathers use mountain. You say it is Jerusalem. Okay? Tarry in Jerusalem until you be endued with power. You say Jerusalem is the place. That was the discussion. Now, that's a contest between Jews and Samaritans. Okay? And the contest was on where to worship. Look at 21 to 23 now. Jesus said unto a woman, believe me, the hour cometh when you shall neither in this mountain nor yet at Jerusalem worship the Father. 22. You worship, you know not what. We know what we worship, for salvation is from the Jews. Salvation is of, means from. That is, salvation came from the Jews. But the hour cometh, and now is, when the true worshippers shall worship the Father in spirit and in truth. For the Father seeketh such to worship. Now, please listen carefully. Jesus mentions the word spirit and truth twice for us to study. Jesus said to the woman, you won't go to Jerusalem or to the mountain. You will worship in spirit and in truth. Then Jesus now said, for the Father seeketh such to worship. The word seeketh such to worship in the original doesn't mean the Father is looking for. It means something he intends to achieve. Something he himself intends to achieve. It's not something you're looking for. Or, can I get a worshiper? I'm looking for a worshiper. Can I find a worshiper? No. That's not what he meant when he said the Father seeketh. What he meant is the Father intends to achieve producing worshippers. The Father intends to achieve it. Some people say worship in spirit and in truth, means to worship God with your heart and sincerity. No, that is not what it means. They are just doing exegesis. They're actually reading their thoughts into the scriptures. So let's look at the word worship first. That word worship will enable us have a perspective. And I'm taking my time because if you can't get it in the place of worship, you can't get it anywhere else. That's why I'm taking my time. All right? So let's examine that word worship so we can have a perspective. The word worship is used in the Bible 332 times. 332 times. And it's a word that had to be translated as worship in English. Because the history of Bible interpretation was from either Greek or Hebrew into what is called today an Anglo-Saxon language. Anglo-Saxon language. Where it goes into the Latin. Then it comes back into the English. All right? Greek, Hebrew, Anglo-Saxon into Latin, Latin to English. Latin precedes the English language. It precedes the English translation of the Bible. And for the very first translation from Greek and Hebrew to what is close to the English, and that's what is called the Latin Vulgate. Okay? It was translated from Greek and Hebrew to the Latin Vulgate. Then from the Latin Vulgate to English language. So look at the transitioning of translating the Bible. All right? Now, so in the Anglo-Saxon is the word worship. The word worship was summarized as honor. In the Anglo-Saxon, it's translated as honor. Honoring something, or honoring someone, or honoring an institution, or an honorable action. Worship. An honorable action. That word worship. In the Anglo-Saxon dictionary, the word worship is used for men, angels, things majorly used for deity. It's used for men, angels, or things that are majorly used for deity. Because of a quality of something or someone, because of a quality of something or someone that supersedes yours, you now pay obeisance to that person. You pay obeisance to that person. That is worship. When you see that the person's quality of life supersedes yours, you now pay obeisance to that person. That is worship from the Anglo-Saxon. Because of the higher quality or powers or authority, you now pay obeisance to that person. Because of that use of the word in the Anglo-Saxon, when it comes into English, that is why the English people now call worship singing. But hold on, the English people now call it singing. All right, when you look at the scriptures contextually, it becomes clearer from what Jesus was saying. The Old Testament uses a few words for the word worship. The first and the most principal word used in the Old Testament is the word shachah. S-H-A-C-H-A-H. In literal terms, when you look at that word, it implies to bow. To bow. Yeah. Shachah. To bow. It also means to prostrate. To prostrate. That's the etymology. To prostrate. To bow. It's used 95 places like that in the Old Testament text. To bow down or to prostrate. To bow down or to prostrate. Please pay attention. It also implies to bow your head, to lay down, to prostrate, to bow your head, to lay down, or to prostrate. An example is Exodus chapter 4 verse 31, where we have what we call in Bible interpretation the law of first mention. And the people believed, and when they heard that the Lord had visited the children of Israel and that he had looked upon their affliction, then they bowed their heads and worshipped. They bowed their heads and worshipped. So the very first mention of that word worship is in that Exodus 4:31. Then you will see again the use of the word worship in Genesis 22 verse 5. And Abraham said unto his young men, abide ye here with the ass, and I and the lad will go yonder and worship, and come again to you. Now, when Abraham took Isaac to Mount Moriah, we all know the story. Notice that when they were going to Mount Moriah, there was no keyboard, no drums, no guitar, no saxophone, no flutes, no tambourine. All of that was not there. Yet they were going yonder to worship. Please take note of that. They were going yonder to worship. So now he goes with his son. Let's examine the things he did to precede what he said. Genesis 22 verse 1 to 5. Let's look at the pretext. And it came to pass after these things that God did tempt Abraham and said unto him, Abraham, and he said, behold, here am I. Next verse. And he said, take now thy son, thine only son Isaac, whom thou lovest, and get thee into the land of Moriah, and offer him there for a burnt offering upon one of the mountains, which I will tell thee of. And Abraham rose up early in the morning, and saddled his ass, and took two of his young men with him, and Isaac his son, and cleft the wood for the burnt offering, and rose up and went unto the place of which God had told him. Then on the third day, Abraham lifted up his eyes and saw the place afar off. Verse 5. And Abraham said unto the young men, abide ye here with the ass, and I and the lad will go yonder and worship, and come again to you. So he was going, and he took Isaac to offer. He took Isaac to offer. Notice, he is going to offer something to God. He is going to offer something to God. And he said, I and the young lad will go yonder to worship. Notice, the first mention of worship has nothing to do with singing. It has nothing. Please listen carefully. Remove your religious caps and throw them in the dustbin now. It has nothing to do with singing. You know, in the church world, they always say that when you sing blues, you are singing worship. Majesty. Gently. Gently. The Spirit is moving. The worship will get heavier. Gently. Majesty. Softly. Worship. That one is drama. All that is acting. The first mention, and you know the law of Bible interpretation. The law of first mention, we have the law of first mention, we have the law of double mention, we have the law of emphatic mention. Okay. The law of first mention says anywhere the word is first mentioned in the Bible carries with it an original flavor of that word. So now we see worship. The first time we saw worship is people bow their head, nobody singing. The second time we see worship is that they are carrying somebody to go and offer. No instruments, no guitar, not even a song. Not even a song. That's instructive, and that must be noted.